Good morning, traders. This is Steve Gans here, and I wanted to take a quick moment to share with you some thoughts about the new Flyagonal trade that I've been working on, and it's been working quite well. I'm up to about 13 straight winners in a row on this trade right now, but I want to walk you through the dynamics of it and how it actually works and why I feel it's a trade that has a lot going for it. First of all, this is the configuration of the trade altogether. This particular trade was put on back on May 30th. Now, when we go back to May 30th, our market was back down in here and about the 58.90 range. So keep in mind, that's when I put the trade on. And the trade consists of a diagonal or a calendar below the market, and it consists of a call broken wing butterfly above the market. Why these two components? The two components play well together, and what I mean by that is come in and we'll look specifically at the diagonal spread. This is what that diagonal spread looks like when it is put on. And what the diagonal does is if our market stays around where it was, which at that time, again, was around this 5,900 range or so, the diagonal is going to maybe add a touch of profit to the trade, maybe not, depending on exactly where it lands. But why the diagonal is really there is if we do get a market drop, and look at this, it can drop from around that 5,900 range all the way down to the 5,650 range and still be under this tent generating profitability. Now, the other advantage to that calendar or diagonal, the time spread, is that if we get that sell-off, volatility also tends to pick up. In a calendar or diagonal, when volatility increases, this tent gets much, much larger, meaning that it has even more downside potential protection than what it might look like in the original profile. There's a lot of ways to the downside that this can generate profit during the duration of the trade. Now, let's look at the other side of this, which is the broken wing butterfly. In the case of the broken wing butterfly, I put this on where the upper side is going to have maybe a little bit of potential loss if our market stayed up in that 5,900 range or so. But again, you'll notice a few days before expiration, here we are 2 days before expiration, and our T0 line is up at about $200-300 in profit. And again, remember at that same location, this trade in that 5,900 range would have a little bit of profit in it too, just prior to expiration. So we're going to look at the two combined in a moment. But prior to that, we need to look at the fact that this broken wing, as we get close to expiration and our T0 line mounts up, that's bringing profitability into this trade if our market goes higher. Again, this trade was put on at around 5,900. We're now up at, let's see here, where are we at 6,022? And we're right under that tent with nice profitability in the trade 2 days before expiration. So let's look at how these two look when they're combined. So this is currently this combined trade that's about $650 in profit. I never had a huge amount of risk on this trade. I think when I opened it, the max risk was around $1,800, somewhere in that general range. So very nice return on this trade. But this is the combined trade as you see it. And again, what we note is that if volatility were to pick up, our calendar diagonal here gets nice profitability if the market were to sell off into that range. If it does not, if implied volatility drops, which is usually what happens if our market goes higher, and that is what has happened since this trade was put on May 30th, it's currently June 12th, is volatility has dropped. We've moved a little bit higher right into this tent, and that's generating the profitability in this trade right now. So what is the big risk in this trade? From my perspective and my experience in trading it so far, downside is pretty protected. If there is a problem area with the trade where this trade is likely to get into a little bit of trouble if it's not adjusted, is if we were to have gotten a big up move from 5,900 and we blew up to the 60-50 range early on in the trade, this trade would have been being pressured because our T0 line on that butterfly would have been more like that. Now, there is an adjustment for that. There's actually a couple different adjustments that I've used in my testing trades. They're actually live trades that I have made so far, and it has worked out well from an adjustment standpoint also. So that is the one area that if our market pops up big, which of course it has been known to do here in recent times, that upside pressure might need to be adjusted within this trade. But short of that, I've been very, very happy with the Flyagonal. Just pull up the results on that real quickly here. Okay, and pulling up the results of the Flyagonal trades that I've made so far, I have made 14 of them over about the past month. So far, it's been 100% winners of the closed trades with a total profit there in around that $1,600 range. Right now, these are all the closed winning trades. These trades are still open, and we can take a look at those open trades here as well. And these top four are the four open Flyagonal trades that I have right now. This one's up just under 300. This one was just open. It's up about 60. This one was just open. This one's been open 13 days, and there's no risk to the upside on it now. I'm leaving it open. If we do get a little bit of a pullback here, this trade could gain significantly in profit above and beyond that roughly 11-12% that it currently has. The other thing to note is I've traded this in SPX. I've traded it in the Qs. I've traded it in SPY here, and I've also traded it in IWM. So it's been very versatile across different symbols as well. Is another way to help understand the robustness of a trade. I like to trade it across multiple symbols and see that it holds up universally well. So if you like the concept of the Flyagonal, if you want to see me making these trades live in real time, I'd urge you to check out my alert service where I share these trades each time I make them with a short video explaining how I'm putting it on, sharing my exact order, and then of course how I might manage it or adjust it along the way. Again, with a video every step of the way explaining what I'm doing. Thanks so much, everyone. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Take care.